What's good? Another stream window for your mind. I'm saying, I don't know why I feel different than yesterday, but I feel definitely different than yesterday. I don't know if any one of y'all just like get that feeling where it's like, bro, I definitely don't feel the same as I did yesterday, dog. It's strange. You know what I'm saying? Or is it supposed to be strange? I don't know. Yo, hope everybody doing good. Hope everybody doing well. I actually just want to jump straight into it, man. I don't even want to lie to y'all, bro. That's what I'm saying. My setup, my energy is just. Oh yeah, I think that's what's different about my mood today. It's a go 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 go. You know what I'm saying? Disgusting noises outside my fucking window, ladies and gentlemen. It's crazy. I don't even know how I'm supposed to hear y'all for real. I don't even know how we're supposed to hear each other for real, but fuck it though. You know what I'm saying? I guess we don't need to. Parasocialism, right? Type shit. But yeah, actually, as I was saying, the difference between how I felt yesterday and how I feel right now is I'm just on a go mood. I'm just on go, right? So jumping straight into it though, there's this one video. Oh my god. And y'all know, bro. Y'all know whenever I be mentioning something like this, just know it's real. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know I don't pre-watch. I don't pre-watch videos before I come through on here and come and react. Right? I don't be pre-watching my shit. So because I'd rather do it here on live. Right? Type shit. So, but right? There's this one that I did watch. It doesn't mean I don't watch videos in my open time or some shit like that, or during the time when I'm not like on here on Twitch and shit. But it's like I was watching this video and then I was like, there's something that's significant that I want to highlight about what I'm about to present to y'all. So it's a video, obviously, duh, it's a YouTube video. Let me do this. So I don't know how many of y'all are familiar with Luesta. Wait, let me just do this scene right here. My boy Luesta, right? The content creator. So Luesta, he creates content, blah blah blah, right? So I saw this video. His video is the video that I'm talking about. Okay, so it's actually W10 today, right? Yeah, W10. So W10s are actually, yeah, we starting it right here with Ty the Guy, but I want to jump straight into the Luesta video. I'll tell you why in a second. Because firstly, we got to introduce it, right? I'll tell you what was interesting about this video. The art of self-snitching. And y'all could put it down in the comments if y'all agree or disagree, right? But y'all could do that at the end of the point that I'm trying to make. Okay, so the art of self-snitching. So the way here goes especially into exposing artists, rappers that have come to points where they either just self-implicate themselves or just like self-incriminate, right, on their lyrics. You know what I'm saying? And I guess it's in the name of just like being hard, standing on business, being about you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not ducking anything. I'm not ducking anybody. I am who I am. So I'll be clear about it, even on songs, to a point of their detriment, right? To a point where it's a negative thing to them. So, AKA what happened with yeah. Well, actually, he lists the artists. So I'm gonna let Luesta list the artists that he lists, right? As the artists that are gonna go down as people that have self-snitched, right? And there is a point that I want to make at the end of this. You know what I'm saying? Because there's one artist that I believe deserved to be on here. You know what I mean? But then Luesta did not highlight that artist. Okay? But then do me a favor, please. Listen to me. Wait. Let me just face you when I ask you this. It's a very big favor, bro. I know this is hard. This is like one of the toughest things to do. Okay? Try and listen in the background, bro. I'm trying to upload some shit right quick. Right quick. This is This is literally actually a segment within, you know what I'm saying, these videos that I be chopping up. So right quickly though, as we're listening to this, because I don't want you to just stare at my face while I just like upload my shit, right? Because I don't be talking, I'm focusing on what I'm doing on my desktop, right? Do me a favor, listen in the background. You can be like busy like with some other shit. Please don't, if you're a guy, please don't just stare. Please don't sit there and stare at my face like this. Okay, but I guess it's your device, it's your thing. You know what, you can do whatever you want to do, but it's like, yo, I'm just trying to make it as less awkward as I can for those who may find that awkward, right? For me to just be like busy here with just my face on the screen. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just uploading, you just like staring at my shit, right? So that's why I want to play this video in the background. So I want you to listen carefully at the artists that, you know, Loesta lists on here on this video. And then, but by the time I make my point, I'll be done uploading the thing so you can actually see and hear what I'm talking about, right? So let him do his thing right now as I upload, and then I'll come back with it.
Telling all they business. Sit rap snitches. Telling all they business. Sit in the court, they be their own star witness. These immortal words were uttered by MF Doom and Mr. Fantastic in 2004, but they've never had more relevance than they do today. In the modern era, rappers have progressed from spinning tall tales about criminal activity all the way to modern drill scenes recounting the exact details of crimes as though they were filling out ready-made police reports. There are plenty of notable stories of popular rappers engaging in this ill-advised behavior, but while things like Bobby Shmurda reflecting on how Mitch caught a body like a week ago didn't exactly help anyone's case when the feds came calling, those bars were practically encrypted compared to how blatant some artists were when it comes to detailing their exploits. But sometimes, a throwaway line like that is enough to fuel legal drama. Prior to his untimely passing, Draco the Ruler's reference to having RJ tied up in the back on 2016's Flex Freestyle became important evidence during his first-degree murder trial. And based on what he'd given them, the prosecution then created their own narrative about his material while he was being held behind bars.
They were doing to you, they were going through all your music and saying this guy's violent, he's this, he's that, all based off of bits and pieces from your song.
They use their own interpretations of what they think something means, or because a lot of people don't know what I'll be talking about. Half the time, I don't know what I'll be talking about.
Right.
So it's like weird in court where you trying to tell me what I mean.
Right.
It's just weird.
Well, and on top of that, they were saying the Stink Team was a gang.
Yeah.
You were the leader.
I was the leader because of my name,
Right.
the ruler.
But where just one incident like this is enough to put you under the microscope of the law, some artists have made a whole career out of it. And while that kind of exposure might have made them blow up online, or given their careers a quick boost, it also blurred that line between real life and entertainment in both their music and media appearances. In fact, it's so common that it's led artists to be wary of doing interviews with people like DJ Vlad, due to their tendency to lead rappers to incriminate themselves on camera for the world to see.
Might hold you up to a hostage. I got a couple indicted. Realistically, you're a baiter. Of course you wouldn't say I got anybody indicted, but you finished. Some of my peers, some of the people that sat in this seat aren't fast enough, intelligent enough to know when it's bait being swung their way. You didn't do it, but hell yeah.
If the police ever try to seize any sort of footage, I would deny it.
You don't got to. It goes straight to YouTube.
And unfortunately, there are plenty of rappers whose careers were cut short when they learned that clout isn't always worth the consequences. It's your boy Loesta, and this is the art of self-snitching. If informing on yourself is truly an art form, then one of its pioneers comes from the mean streets of Brooklyn. And now, he may never place his feet on the outside world ever again. Referred to as the big homie in the streets, Raw Diggs was about as real as they came in the New York hip-hop scene. Through his high-ranking position in the murderous Mad Dog Bloods, Raw emerged from the Gowanus projects with verifiable credentials that made him a perfect candidate for a new voice of the city. And for a while, he was making big strides, even teaming up with rappers outside of New York, such as Waka Flocka Flame.
Talk about the music, man. I mean, the music, man, you know, basically we got the Vanguard movement that I'm doing, man. The company I started this year, I've been very successful. You know what I'm saying? For the past couple months, you know, I've made a lot of progress as being a novice in this business, you know what I mean? You know, we got the GMG movement. My son off, you know what I mean? A lot of people familiar with what he doing. You know what I mean? We got some big projects coming out of this whole camp. You know what I'm saying? And we got that collaboration with the Brick Squad. You know, myself, AWAD, you know what I mean? But we just out here mashing right now. You know what I'm saying? We're connecting all over the board. We got that Desperado project. That's all of us coming together, all of our separate entities becoming one. And we just mashing the game, you know what I'm saying?
As the audience gained an interest in him, Raw Diggs became an increasingly well-known public figure, but he never shied away from his gang affiliations and felt that there was a misunderstanding about what it really entailed.
You know, a lot of times people say, you know, they see me and they be like, damn, he's a highly intelligent brother. You know, this and that, you know, you're not an ignorant dude, I can see you, but you're not ignorant. So it's like, yo, what are you a part of that? Well, I'm a part of this because of what it stood for, what I believe in. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I had to express that to people. They be like, yo, damn, you know, most of the people, they probably see in their neighborhoods have a negative reflection of what we stand for, which is not what we really stand for, and they look at that, and that's their whole perception. So sometimes somebody has to give them the real, you know what I mean?
But there was a downside that arose from all this new attention, and that's the fact that it wasn't just hip-hop fans who were taking notice of his lyrical content. On tracks like Eulogy, Raw discussed his fear of going back to prison, spitting,
I'ma wave the heat, I solemnly swear, before I let him give me 120 years, 120 years, imagine that there.
Later in that same song, he declares that, I'ma stop with all that, too much information will make me my own rat. And unfortunately for Raw, he was about to be proven right when a massive 23-count indictment struck.
Accused Blood's gang leader and rapper on the rise tried to counter the government's claims that he's a lord who terrorized his own community.
As Raw was taken into custody, he was defended by his friends and allies who tried to undo the damage of his public persona.
The music is basically us talking about the life that we come from, not necessarily saying this is what I did. You know, this is a very intelligent man, and this is not a man who would commit all these crimes and didn't tell you for you to use it against him.
The music videos in and of themselves and the lyrics in and of themselves would never be proof beyond a reasonable doubt. But could it be something that a jury takes into consideration when they're weighing the credibility of other witnesses or weighing the credibility of other evidence? Absolutely.
But unfortunately, his bars and statements in interviews alluding to his life as a gangbanger were coupled with an FBI NYPD probe involving more than 65 undercover purchases. As the cops built their case, his songs with Murder Team rapping partner Uncle Murda were placed in the firing line. However, his longtime collaborator claimed it was actual informants that really ensured he got locked up rather than anything he said on wax.
While he was out, were used to convict him, to put him back in prison. They try to use some of the lyrics that he said in a few records that me and him did. They try to use some of the lyrics that he said and bring it up in the case. But they was already investigating, just trying to bring up on him. Because you know what it be, you have people that get locked up in the neighborhood that he's from, that knew him. They get locked up. They know his history as far as certain things that he might have been through. And then, you know, they see him doing different things, and it's like a get out of jail free card. Get locked up and they start saying, well, I know he did this, or they say he did this before, he did this, and then you got a bunch of people that's trying to get out of jail saying the same thing. So it makes the feds try to build a case, because all they need is a couple people saying a few things about you and they can build a case. And that's what he got caught up in right now. So that's the, but you know, they were trying to give him the death penalty. That just got, so that's some good news. He's no longer fighting. He's no longer fighting the death penalty. That's good news.
Among those lyrics cited in the case were lines like this from their slowed down remix, where Diggs spit, "I don't respect the shooter because he shot me in the legs, and 2 days later he was." See, if he was smart, he would have shot me in the head, because I can't get you from my hospital bed. Now, this isn't exactly an unusual lyrical approach in hip-hop and could easily be written off as a fantasy, but when you've already got 23 charges against you and the picture of you as a hardened kingpin has been built, it's not exactly going to help either. And according to court papers cited in the Daily News at the time, this was no work of fiction. Back in the year 2000, Raw Diggs, whose real name is Ronald Herron, was shot by a rival but survived. Herron's associates allegedly killed the shooter 2 days later. He had already beaten a previous murder charge, but prosecutors suggested he was also behind the 2008 execution of Richard Russo, who was killed in a Gowanus Project's elevator, as well as the killing of Victor Zapata in a Witkoff courtyard the following year. And while Uncle Murda can't say for sure that everyone was pointing the finger at Diggs, there are verifiable examples where people did. One of the most infamous is Saquon Wallace, a former dealer and hitman, who claimed that Raw once convinced him to disguise himself as a woman, complete with makeup and a wig, to carry out a hit on a rival, since that same tactic had worked for Raw before. As his defense team struggled to build a case, Raw took the bizarre step of claiming he wasn't subject to US constitutional law, insisting instead that he was a sovereign inhabitant of the country. In response, lawyers pointed to various times where he had essentially told on himself, including a since-deleted tweet where he bragged about beating a body in a case he'd previously been acquitted of. With the deck stacked against him, Raw's very public displays of his gangster credentials meant that it was easy for the court to hand down a crazy verdict of 12 life sentences, plus 105 years. And while this was everything he had hoped to avoid, even fellow rappers such as My Son believed that he ultimately knew what awaited him, given how he was moving.
We knowingly understand what comes with this. We want the lights and we want the glitter and we want this, but we understand the only thing that's promised is jail or death. Like, y'all want to glorify this and y'all want to do this, but when you engage in those things, you basically make a contract to give up your life at some point. Nobody knows when, but you give up your life.
And in retrospect, some of those bars on tracks such as Eulogy seem to support the notion that he knew where he was headed and had begun to come to terms with it. Given how prophetic the song was, I can only imagine Raw was already seeing the writing on the wall at this point, under surveillance, receiving indictments, etc. Now 12 years into his first life sentence, Raw Diggs holds the special distinction of being the first rapper residing in ADX Florence, the US's only supermax prison. He shares a home with some of the most notorious criminals in the world today, including founding members of the Aryan Brotherhood and convicted terrorists. In fact, it's so feared that even former wardens have spoken out about how brutal this prison, where they're held in solitary for 23 hours a day, really is.
Exclusive interview, a former warden and a former inmate tell us death is easier than life at the federal supermax.
It's as isolated as the prisoners who call it home. The prison, called ADX Florence, is a tomb for the living.
Despite the regular campaigns to free him that you see online when a rapper is incarcerated, the likelihood of Raw coming home anytime in the next century is very slim. But he's not completely given up, and is still showing his prowess with the bars during rare contact with the outside world.
A couple steps, he stepped around and he slugged me. Since then, I ain't trust nobody but me. There's money in my pocket, nigga, plus I kept that pocket. What's a big man, James Harden? Step up shooting like they playing in the garden.
Yet for every case like Diggs, there are others where there was at least a light at the end of the tunnel after it all went down. Among those who actually managed to escape with their life intact after a lengthy bid is Cali rapper X-Rated. A notable member of the Garden Block Crips, he was active in both the streets and the studio all at once. But shortly after his debut album Psychoactive was released, his own music would be used against him, tying him to the home invasion of Patricia Harris, the mother of a rival gang member. She was shot through the heart in March 1992 when gang members stormed her home looking for rivals, and police claimed that the rapper was the ringleader. On his part, X-Rated maintained it was all set up and that he wouldn't have purposefully killed the rival's mother because the code among criminals forbids it.
I don't have no indictment for gang culture. I'm not that person. I don't think that's the correct method for gang diversion anyway, to tell you to hate something you love and then think we don't have a conversation about me changing my life. That wouldn't have worked for me. So all I can say is just that these people called and said this was an error. That wasn't something someone intended to do. And if it had been a house full of gang members, hey, I'd be on bro, you know, because I would have happily all of them. That's where I was at with my psychology. I would have done that. I thought that was perfectly acceptable behavior.
However, not everyone agreed, and before long, everything he'd ever said or done was helping to build a case. Due to a line on his album, which spoke of kicking doors down and mamas, prosecutor Pete Harnd argued that this was practically a prediction of the slaying of Patricia Harris. When the music was played in court, prosecutor Pete Harnd said he could see the victory in the jury's horror. Determined to keep it real, X-Rated admitted to being a gang member when on the stand, with Harnd later commenting that he was speaking honestly at least, but I don't think it was necessarily a wise course of action. Although he said that he could have testified and gone home, X-Rated left it in the hands of the court. This turned out to be a mistake, as the mostly white middle-class jury was clearly offended by his music. According to Harnd, it may not have been the reason they convicted him, but it played a powerful role in shaping their decision. Another thing that was used to ensure his conviction was the cover of Psychoactive itself, with cops and investigators claiming that the caliber of the pistol he held to his head matched the one he used in the murder.
The cover photo shows X-Rated holding a gun to his own head, taken weeks before the Harris. This is similar to the types used in the Harris shooting. Detectives cannot find. Sacramento County DA officials may subpoena the record company for the unreleased recording.
This hysteria came not only from what they witnessed, but also from the songs they included on the project.
Yeah, I'm killing mom, daddy, and nephews.
17-year-old rap singer X-Rated is one of 5 teenagers accused in the murder of 42-year-old Patricia Harris. Just 2 days before the murder, X-Rated finished this recording. The lyrics of the song called The Murder are hauntingly similar to the fatal shooting of Patricia Harris. Part of it goes, I'm knocking down doors, I'm mamas, daddies, nephews, I'm daughters, sons, and sparing you. William Harris, the surviving husband of Patricia, is confused by it all, but he says the song and the murder of his wife may be related.
And they used the album for conjecture that was the weapon, because they didn't find a weapon. There was no way to ever say it was. Nobody said it was, so they really just used it to say, see, here he is holding a.
Right, because on the cover it has you pointing a gun to your head, and they're trying to say that this was the same type of that was used in a.
Right, which is conjecture.
But they never found the actual weapon.
They never found the gun.
Sentenced to 31 years behind bars, X-Rated had a tough life in prison, where he almost lost his life when a corrections officer allegedly put a hit out on him. But in his version of the story, he handled the situation before.
Right, chat, look, or viewer, or whatever the case, right? It's like, check me out. I was just trying to prove a point by just like letting you hear that video over there, right? While I uploaded my little shits. Okay. I want you to understand something. This recent story of D4VD, right? David, bro, what have we heard so far about this guy? Well, we've heard what we've heard, but at the same time, there's this thing that parallels his story where it's like his music has always had these hints of like probably intention, maybe. Okay, and this is just like from how I speculate, from how I'm chopping up the story of David, right? He's actually based off of like what has been found in the music, in his music. You know what I'm saying? In terms of like just you know what I mean? Like what the songs and the lyrics and everything involved in the lyrics and all of that coming to pass, bro. You know what I'm saying? Coming to reality, and the whole just connection of these two worlds making everything extra creepy. Wouldn't that count as self-snitching? Well, it's you're revealing something about either your intention. It may not be self-snitching within the traditional meaning of like snitching on yourself, but how everything has played out with the story of David, I feel like that nigga's story and how things has played out for him deserve to be on this list right here, bro. Because as I said, bro, it's not like probably traditionally what snitching would mean to everybody, but just how the dots have connected in terms of, because I feel like, you know what I'm saying, with what he was saying on his songs and how things have come to reality for real. Whoa. You know what I'm saying? How things came to reality for real. It's like, it's telling of the fact that he could not keep that energy in. You know what I'm saying? These were probably fantasies that he'd be playing in his mind. Go check out his music. Matter of fact, there's a video that I actually saw pre-seeing this video, right? And this one was by Trapler Ross. Let me check this one out together with y'all, right? Trapler Ross. Shit, I hope it was on this channel, man. Yeah, no. Not that one. Another one. There's another one, bro. Alright, you know what? Let me do this. Let me go through this doorway right here, right? And go ahead. It was this one. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and play this one right here. And I want you guys to just like get exposed to how I'm gonna play this in fast pace though, because you know what I'm saying, it's a very long video. So I'm gonna play it a little bit fast paced, but still intelligible enough, right? So these is the clues in the songs. Look at the title of the video. David hidden clues about murder in every song, right? So these are the clues. Does this not count as self-snitching, y'all? Y'all tell me.
As a trigger warning off top, and just say that this video is going to contain some pretty dark and very sad and shocking scenarios that I really can't believe myself, honestly. I really can't believe some of the stuff that I've been reading, some of the stuff that I've been hearing. It's actually crazy. It's very sad and it's very tragic.
It has been crazy.
This is a trigger warning, basically, for anybody watching this video. This is going to, you know, contain some really sad backstory about a young...
Okay, listen, I'm just going to play a little bit of this so that y'all see what I'm talking about when I'm saying this may have been self-incriminating details in songs. You know what I'm saying? But this, here's what's the difference. Here's what's the difference about this one, right? This one, bro, it's like he snitched on himself, or not snitched, like he tells the details of reality, right? Details that, okay, I don't want to play devil's advocate on any part of this story, right? But just details that, I don't know, are meant to be, fuck, I can't even say, like, because none of these details is meant to be hidden. You know what I'm saying? If you really think about it, it's psychopathic, it's crazy. But I'm just saying, like, these is details that he told on songs, and then they actually happen. And those exact details is what is, you know, got him in a very dark place. Check this out.
Authorities ID'd a body found in a car, and the mother of the girl that was ID'd deceased in the car told TMZ that it's her missing daughter. And the car belonged to, I guess, R&B singer by the name of David, D4VD. So the person whose body was found in singer David's Tesla has been identified as Celeste Rivas, and TMZ spoke to her mother, who said she had a boyfriend named David. Celeste was 15, according to the LA County Medical Examiner.
So that's the victim, right? Now listen to how, and that's, this nigga sang about this victim throughout multiple songs, even depicting her, somebody that looks almost exactly like her in his music videos. Check this out. Check this out, bro.
Home. The running away from home keeps coming. This is going to be a repetitive video because it's the same thing.
Running away from home. When Trap Lil Ross introduced this video, well, he got into the fact, man, watch the video, bro. He gets into the fact that, you know, the history of David and this victim, right? Alleged victim of them. I don't even know when to say alleged or whatnot, nigga. But it is what it is, bro. It's public narrative. Yeah, commentary. The reality is that this girl, right? She ran away from home, blah blah. Connected with this guy. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they connected. Started living with this guy, and fast forward. Now she's found lifeless. Well, her lifeless body was found in his car, right? And now it's like stories around that, speculation around that, you know what I'm saying, allegations around that, suspicions around that. But then now his songs, that's what I'm here for, right? That's what my point of this here segment is, that his songs were actually telling of the details that he was fantasizing. But it was the kind of fantasies that was just absolutely dark on some shit, right? But this nigga acted on that shit. So it's kind of like snitching on himself and then doing the activity, right? Where in maybe, you know, drill rap examples where, you know what I'm saying, when you get the story of Dirk, he does the deeds and then he raps about it. But it's like, no, I'll rap about this shit first, or I'll just put it into my songs first and then I do it. It's crazy, but it can kind of count with my point of this guy David should be on Luista's list of self-snitching artists. Come on.
It's consistent.
Now, listen. His songs is self-snitching. His lyrics self-snitching.
I didn't want to have to break it off, but you got my back up against the wall. I could take it back, but it's all my fault. And all I know is I'm going to make it worse. I'm burning down, but I burn it all. I never want to have to take a loss. I only wanted you to take my soul, but you left it with me in the name of love. Run away from home again. He's telling... This is a direct
home again.
Dude, run away from home again. I'm carving these notes into bloody arms, alone with my soul impaled. Run away from your loving arms. Why am I so afraid? I don't care. I'm not coming home. Why am I crying if this is what I wanted all along? But they don't wanna. They don't wanna. They take advantage of the lonely ones. Somebody might get taken advantage of here, and maybe it's the lonely one. It's just twisted. I'm not even trying to make jokes. It's so twisted. It's exhausting, man. It's so sad. Washing my hands in the bloody water, I missed the way that I thought it was. You, me against the world, and now the whole world is just against me. For sure, right now, the whole world's against this David guy.
Let's go to the next song.
All right. And the lyrics
look at this one. Look at this title. I don't even want to say it out loud because I don't know how YouTube is gonna treat my shit. My shit is already on a strike. Look at this title. Right? Cool. Now this is all before the victim was victimized in the way that they were victimized, right? Check it out.
Suicide. It read like a goodbye letter to his family. And as I said before, it's almost like he knew he was running from something. There were consequences coming. He would be going out sad. He might be losing his life because of the things that he might have done, allegedly, potentially. And it says, "Dear Mom, it's my birthday. Happy birthday to me." Now, bear in mind, this song was teased or leaked onto Discord on her birthday. So arguably, you could say that he could be singing from the perspective of Celeste. I mean, the song was first circulated on her birthday. So,
and okay, I want you to take note of the difference of or where the difference could lie, right? It could lie in the fact that, oh nah, he's more dreamy with it. He's more artistic with his thing. You know what I'm saying? He's not direct, where everything is obvious. Nah, but these is real life characters within his fictional world. These is real life characters that perform real life deeds. Or is it a classic case of art imitating reality?
He's saying, "Dear Mom, it's my birthday. Happy..."
In the most darkest of ways.
Happy birthday to me. Dear Dad, it's been the worst day in the worst way.
Or reality imitating art.
I'm still alive. I read these lyrics earlier, but it's like now I'm actually...
So yeah, within this one specifically, actually, he's talking from the perspective of the victim. So he's voicing the victim's voice, if you get what I'm saying, on some shit. Right? So he is that victim. But look, listen to what the song says.
You're taking it in, pause, and it's like... chilling. This is chilling. This is more twisted than any gangs thing I've covered. He's singing in the perspective of the girl on her birthday, and the song is being posted on Discord on her actual birthday. "Dear Mom, it's my birthday. Happy birthday to me. Dear Dad, it's been the worst way in the worst way. I'm still alive. I don't want to be here. The candles don't even fit on the cake.
I don't want to be here." When was this song dropped? Pretty sure it was before she was offed.
"Don't want my birthday. No, not today. Blessings on blessings, curse after curse, and every passing second, for better or worse, I don't see the better anyways. I just choose to believe I'm not okay. Dear Mom, I still love you and I thank you for life again. Dear Dad, I still cherish the times we had. Didn't see eye to eye. But that's alright. Goodbye." I can't imagine what her parents are going through here and all of this stuff.
Bro.
Going back and listening to this guy's music, listening to the music at the time when you know your daughter's dating this guy, is just twisted. And so the very same day, on Celeste's birthday, he releases another music video. It's called Rehab. Anime video. 15 yet, dude. Got all anime, but what that symbolizes. Now swords of it was.
So I just want to highlight
yet, right?
the important details that we're here for.
Yeah, so twisted. And so there's all these.
Here's another song.
Obvious reasons, right?
Here's another song. There's another song.
He sings about having to get a girl out of here.
Wait, hold on.
We haven't even got to the lyrics yet, right? So
one?
we've got the music video where girls are getting hacked to bits, right? And then this actual song, Rehab, that dropped.
Rehab, okay.
It's got a bunch of lyrics where he basically sings about having to get a girl out of here and saying that he's trying to stay away from her.
Get a girl out of here.
Even saying she can't run or hide from him, and it's got a bunch of illusions.
Can't run or hide from him. Listen to all this stuff. And parallel this to the story that he's going through right now.
Since the violence, it basically says that they have to be apart for obvious reasons, right? So he basically says, "I feel like getting in trouble again. Kickstart repertoire with a shovel again. I'm on a different level. She fell in love with the devil again.
Look at that.
Gotta get her out of here. I don't feel this way anymore. For the girl that I used to know, I'd rather take it slow. She thinks she's too good for me now. No room in class for a clown. It's too much for me to handle. White rose petals. Broken hearts and bloody sandals. Bodies stacked on top of each other.
What?
Good undercover. Too bad for each other. Good undercover. It's, I've been hearing
Come
gunshots
on,
inside my
bro.
cleuded thoughts.
These
Do I
are
love
just
you a lot?
underlying-
never mind. It don't.
Here's another
Yours
song.
was for the best for me to cry.
Here's
Keep
another
it watching
song.
mouth.
Bro, these
I had you
songs, they
figured
never
out.
end.
Never thought you'd call my in LA. Cool boy no
It's a
more.
whole fucking soundtrack.
Come out.
My house is not a
Saying
home.
Celeste is the girl he showed on his stream. Yawu is the girl who spoiled him. So I assume my house is not my home is probably about Celeste. And so that song, My House is Not Home, allegedly all about her, right?
Let's
Hello,
hear it.
I'm at your door again. I just needed a friend, but now I share a bed with you. Am I dumb to succumb to the noise? I'm not a little boy no more. I've made my stupid choices too.
Okay.
Tell my mother I'm sorry. Tell my father the same. Tell my sister that her brother might as well have gone insane. Is there space for me in Houston because it's spacious in LA, where the grass is always greener and the world can scream my name? But you never really cared about the way everything turned out. You didn't want to fall in love. You're looking out for yourself now. It's starting to piss me off. I thought I had you figured
What?
out. Never thought you'd call my bluff.
It's starting to piss you off. Like, I feel like this might just, like, if we're gonna look at it from the perspective of, you know what I'm saying, when maybe investigations are like just undertaken in a way where they're now digging deep into his lyrics, they're gonna find that, like, you know what I'm saying, this guy's control issues, bro. These are control issues where you're so, like, in your perception, you have to have your claws hooked into somebody so deep that, bro, one little thing of them, just a slight little hint of them, you know what I'm saying, having to leave or possibly leaving or potentially leaving would just drive you so nuts. They'd probably have to leave over their dead, over their DEAD body. You know what I'm saying? Over their just, you know, come on, bro. It's like, look at this. That everything turned out, you didn't want to fall in love. You're looking for, look, you didn't want to fall in love. You're looking out for yourself now. Number one, is that a wrong thing to do, to look out for yourself? It's starting to piss me off. I thought I had you figured out. So me having myself figured out is starting to piss you off. What kind of F-fury is that? What kind of F-U-C-K-E-R-Y is that? Right? F-U-C-K-E-R-Y. Crazy. Right? So I just wanted to, like, just make that point and be like, yo, don't this guy deserve to be on this list right here, man? Right? Luesta? Where my boy Luesta join in? This one right here.
Oh, everything I love you.
You feel me? Nah, facts. Facts. This one right here. The Art of Self-Snitching. Because at the same time, ladies and gentlemen, that right there was my case in point. Look at what's going on. And I feel like the hints are all in the music, bro. That's it. Dig deep into the music. And that's why I appreciate the video that the video that, you know, Trap LaRosse made. He actually digs into all type of shit, like, you know what I'm saying, like all kind of songs, all kinds of angles, where this guy literally was speaking on like details of either intentionality, being intentional, premeditation, you know what I'm saying, things like this, things like having that predetermined energy to do what you did. And I feel like that's gonna even you know what I'm saying, make the, is it the sentencing or the just the arm of the law come down even hard on you. That shit it's you know what I'm saying, I'm sensing it's giving premeditation. Like all these songs is giving premeditation. Yo, y'all gotta go ahead and check that video out, man. Trap More Ross, you feel me? Trap More Ross. Okay, my point of this segment was to prove that that nigga was self-snitching and the shit. And the Trap More Ross video where he breaks down all this guy's songs got the answers, right? Like as far as painting a picture of the kind of person, you know what I'm saying, is being speculated about. Yeah. What else is on the shit? On my community joint, you know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, my boy Ty the Guy. Yeah. Now, you know what I'm saying? The Daily Hustle episode 3. I'm so disappointed. I never started this shit at episode 1. I'm gonna go ahead and subscribe and give me everything, nigga, because I'm hitting the bell icon. This is my boy Ty the Guy, bro. Shout out Ty the Guy. Actually, I was introduced to Ty the Guy by Dub Family, right? My boy Dub. Yeah, good vibes, good times. Look, the Daily Hustle. This nigga has actually a series talking about episode 3. This is crazy. Nobody sees this side of the 9 to 5. I'm here for it. I am here for it. And here's the reason why this is my kind of content. I relate. Right? I relate. Unlike this nigga right here. Let me show you this nigga. Right? Unlike this nigga right here. I mean, he cool and everything. Dope, W, whatever. But at certain points you just can't relate. You don't know what the you know what I'm saying? You just, you know, so that's at a certain point it's like, yo, shut the fuck up, bro. Let me just get up on my way. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, but you always give him a chance though, because, well, me personally, I always give him a chance though, because you know what I'm saying, there are certain points of relatability. It's just like how he just like handles that shit be so unrelatable at times, or maybe the aspects of his unrelatability, they just sometimes they overshadow what we trying to relate to, right? But my boy Ty the Guy over here is about to tell us, you know what I'm saying, the side that nobody sees of the 9 to 5. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go ahead and give this one an honorable reaction, bro. Not even gonna lie to you, bro. No fucking cap. Alright, let's get into it. I can't stand it no more. Oh yeah, and W Music too.